Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about intuition. So, I'm sure many of you may have heard the word intuition. You may have a general idea of what intuition is, but do you really know what intuition is? So, other names or phrases or words that are the same as intuition are things like divine guidance, divine messages. It's things like answers to your prayers, all that kind of thing is, messages from the spirit world, all that is the same thing. It's all intuition. And basically, what it is it's some kind of message that you receive that just comes to you, and it has some form of message or some form of answer for you. Now, a lot of people have asked me how I know the difference between intuition or divine guidance or messages, or inspired thought, is another word for it. How do I know the difference between that and your own thinking in your own mind? Well, for me, I know the difference between my own thoughts and my inspired thoughts or ideas or messages that I receive is in terms of where I receive them in my head. And this is something I've spent a lot of time refining and practicing and working out how I can tell the difference between intuition and my own thoughts. So for me, when I have my own thoughts, I feel them in the front of my brain, kind of in this area here. And usually it is like a snowball. So I'll think of one thing, then the next thing, next thing, next thing, and then that will lead to the final outcome or the final idea. With inspired thoughts, I receive them right in the middle of my brain. I can't even point, it's right in the middle of my brain. And it's not one of those things that it's a gradual growth of idea or my momentum around an idea. For me, it is literally, there will be no thought on it, and then it'll be like, boom, and I have the whole idea with all the complexities around it. It is a complete idea. It's not part of an idea, then part of an idea, then part of an idea. It is the whole package. So I've received the whole block of information or the whole idea in one go. So for me, that is what intuition is. Um, and there are many other ways that you can receive intuition, and one of the ways is, when you kind of meet someone and then you just get this funny feeling in your stomach and you don't know what it is, but you just feel off about it. That's intuition. Um, and that's to do with anything. It's really important because with intuition, especially in terms of when you're faced with someone or an experience, trusting your stomach is very important in this, because your stomach is like another brain. And so I'll talk a little bit about that. So there are three brains in your body. You have your brain, you have your heart brain, and you have your stomach brain. Now, your brain is actually not the smartest brain you have. Your heart and your stomach brain are actually smarter because they don't have all these other little beliefs linked into it. And what your heart brain and your stomach brain do, they can read the messages and read the vibrations without the interference of your negative belief system or things that don't serve you, all these other little layers that we have put in our brains, unconscious biases, all those kind of things. The heart and the stomach don't have those types of filters. So it's really a good decision when you feel the different things from both your heart and from your stomach, to know that they are real for you. You're not necessarily reading things for other people, but they are real for you. And so in terms of metaphysics, what intuition is basically the interpretation of energy or the interpretation of vibration in the world. And because everything is connected, everything is absolutely, we're connected to everything. And so what intuition is, it's been said to be linked with psychic ability, but what it really is it's a super sensitive interpreter of these messages and of these vibrations, because they're always coming at you. It's just whether you have the ability to interpret them. And a lot of the times we do have the ability to interpret them, but do we trust them? And that's the thing. Do you trust your intuition, or do you push it aside, or do you just kind of put it away, like, I don't know why I'm feeling that. I have no logic about how I feel about this thing or why I don't feel so great about it, so I'm going to push it aside. I would encourage you to start feeling your intuition and trusting that intuition and giving it a real shot. I think you might find that a lot of the time your intuition is very, very correct, and not even just correct it's not correct for others, but it is correct for you because you're interpreting it for you. So if you have any questions about intuition, inspired thoughts, anything like that, please pop them in the comments. If you like the information that you're seeing here and hearing, please give me a like or a heart or something. And if there are other people who you think might benefit from hearing this information, please share it with them. It's here to help us all grow and learn and expand. I did just have another thought. How to receive intuition. So sometimes we can actually block receiving intuition and receiving our inspired thoughts, divine messages. We can actually block them when we become really agitated or move away from our spiritual alignment. So I talk a bit about spiritual alignment. I will link the video in the description, but spiritual alignment is when the person that we are being in the physical world is lining up and matching to who we are at our core, who our spiritual being is, which is always the highest, best version of ourselves. So the closer we are to being that version, that very best version of ourselves, which is just full of love and joy and all the good stuff, the more open we are to receiving that intuition, to receiving those messages. And, the worse we feel with ourselves, the lower vibrational feelings, like we're feeling, sadness or anger or despair or depression, all those kind of things take us further away from that spiritual alignment. And that makes it harder for us to receive that intuition and those messages that are, messages that are best for us, for our lives. So like I said, if you have any questions, please post them in the comments. I will come back and answer them. If you're interested in this kind of thing, what I do is I help people develop in their personal lives, in their business lives, and also in their spiritual lives. So this is about spiritual growth and development. And that is all I have for you today. I hope you have enjoyed it. Much love to you all. Bye for now.